Ugh, that moment. We've all been there, right? You go to open the bedroom or bathroom door and nothing. It just doesn't work. You're stuck, you're annoyed, and your whole day just hit a snag. It's super frustrating, but don't worry. We're going to break down exactly what's going on and, more importantly, how you can fix it.
Does any of this sound painfully familiar? You turn the handle and it just spins around, completely loose with zero resistance. Or maybe the latch just refuses to click into the door frame so the door won't stay shut. Yep, those are the classic signs that the mechanism inside your lock has given up the ghost.
And let's be real, it's more than just a little inconvenient. It can be a total pain. But here's the good news. A lot of these problems are totally fixable. So, in this explainer, we're going to walk through how to figure out what's wrong and get that door back in business.
So what gives? Why do these things just stop working? Well, it almost never happens out of the blue. The real culprit is just good old-fashioned wear and tear. I mean, think about the doors you use every single day. Your bedroom, the bathroom, all that opening and closing year after year slowly grinds down the tiny metal parts inside.
When we actually look inside that lock, the failure usually boils down to one of just a handful of common issues. And, figuring out which one it is, well, that's the key to getting it fixed.
All right, here are our 5 usual suspects. First up, you've got worn-out internal springs. These little guys lose their oomph over time, and that's what gives you that floppy, useless handle. Second, the spindle could have snapped. That's the square metal bar that connects the handles. If it breaks, it can't turn anything. Third, sometimes it's as simple as a misalignment between the latch and the plate on the door frame, which can cause it to jam. Fourth, the whole latch mechanism itself, the guts of a lock inside the door, can just have a catastrophic failure. And finally, hey, don't forget the basics. Sometimes it's just loose screws or a bit of rust causing the whole system to seize up.
Okay, enough about the why. Let's get to the how. If you're feeling up for it, here's a pretty straightforward 6-step guide you can try yourself.
So, before you grab your screwdriver, just take a second. We're going to go through this step by step, and who knows, it might be a much simpler fix than you're imagining.
All right, let's do this. Step 1, unscrew and take the handles off. That'll let you see the latch mechanism and the spindle. Step 2, check that spindle. Pull it out and really look at it. Is it bent, cracked, or broken? That's a super common failure point. Step 3, lubricate and make sure you use the right stuff, which we'll get to in a sec. Step 4, test the latch. Just push it in with your finger. Does it spring back smoothly? If not, the whole unit might be toast. Step 5, realign the strike plate. That's the metal plate on the door frame. Make sure the latch lines up perfectly. And finally, step 6, put it all back together. And this is so important. Test it a bunch of times before you actually close the door.
Okay, now this is absolutely crucial, so listen up. Do not, I repeat, do not use an oil-based lubricant like WD-40 for this. Over time, that oil just attracts dust and gunk, and it creates this sticky sludge that'll make the problem even worse. What you want is a dry lubricant, like graphite powder or a silicone spray.
So, you followed all the steps. You even used the right spray, but the handle is still just spinning or that latch is completely stuck. What does that mean?
This is the point where we need to know when to put down the tools and call in a professional. And luckily, there's a pretty clear sign that tells you the problem is bigger than a simple DIY fix.
Man, here it is. If that handle just spins and spins with no effect, or if the latch is totally frozen, won't move in or out, it's almost certain that the internal casing is fractured. Basically, a critical piece of metal inside has snapped.
And this quote from a locksmith really hits the nail on the head. For a broken internal mechanism, it is just not worth the time, effort, or money to try and repair it. A whole new latch unit is pretty inexpensive, and a professional can swap it out in just a few minutes.
So let's tie this all together with one clear final takeaway. The real key to fixing this problem without pulling your hair out is knowing when to give it a shot yourself and when it's time to just pick up the phone.
Just look at this breakdown here. On the left, if you've got a floppy handle, a stiff latch, or you can see the screws are loose, yeah, absolutely try the DIY steps we talked about. Those are usually signs of worn-out springs or a simple alignment issue. But if you're dealing with what's on the right, a handle that spins all the way around or a latch that's jammed solid, that's your signal. That means something inside is broken and it's time to call a pro to get it replaced.
So whether you fixed it yourself or you made the smart call to get some help, you solved the problem. You took charge of a really annoying situation and you learned something. It kind of makes you wonder, right? What other little problem around the house is just waiting for you to tackle it next?